Hey everybody, it is Joshua. I posted something on Fluid's wall about if you guys have any questions that you want to hear me answer in a video to let me know. One of the ones I got that I can answer probably most quickly right now is from Gavin Wolf, and it is: Do I do I have to take my name change order from the court to every place that I had a shopper advantage card, like a grocery VIP card, for example? The answer to that, hold on, let me find YouTube again. Hey, the answer to that is no, you do not. You really don't have to disclose your name change to anyone that you don't want to, unless you want to transfer benefits over. When it comes to something like a shopper card, for example, I had a Petco card, like a little one that went in my wallet, one that went on my keychain for little like discounts and stuff um, under my previous name. And then when I transitioned, I set one up under my new name. Um, I just went in as a totally different person. Like, oh hi, I'd like to set up a Petco Advantage card so I can get discounts on my amazing dogs chew toys or whatever. Um, I didn't really have to tell them anything um, because it's possible for like two people at the same address to have a discount card. Like I could have one and my wife could have one separately. It doesn't have to be under the same account or whatever. They really don't have any monetary value to them. Now, if it's something where it's like if you swipe it during your purchases and you get discounts. Sorry, I got a text. You get discounts. Sorry, my wife texted me. Um, if it's at a place where you get discounts based on your purchases, meaning like you maybe accrue points. Let's say it's a grocery store like Kroger or Publix, and you have like a card from there. Let's say, I don't know if these stores do this, but let's say it was something where if every time you shop you scan the card, you get some discounts, but you also accrue points that you could use as like money later. That's something that you might want to really weigh out the option. If you're comfortable with being like, hey, by the way, I changed my name. Here's my name change order. Blah blah blah. Then that's all you. For me myself personally, I'm not really comfortable with outing myself to anyone that doesn't need me to out myself to them. Um, the only time you should ever have to submit your name change order, like legally, to get anything changed over, um, will obviously be through employers. Most of the time, they want your social security card and your name change order. For FTMs, the selective service is a big one. If you transitioned before the age of 25 or 26, um, and your gender is legally changed, then you can, I suppose, you can enroll in the selective service. For me, I transitioned after my 26th birthday, and when I went to apply for financial aid for schooling, I was denied because I did not have they. One of the questions is, did you register in the selective service? And if you're a male, you have to answer that. And I answered no, and then they wouldn't. Basically, need to get a letter, which I have somewhere, that said you need to mail them your birth certificate, the copy of your name change, copy of like a letter from your doctor that you've transitioned, you were once female, now you're male, and all of that, so that they'll send you a letter back that's really generic. It doesn't say, oh, because you transitioned genders. No, you weren't. It just says we review the information you provided and have determined that you were not required to register in the selective service. So things like that. Depends how secure or comfortable you are with um, putting all that information out there. I wouldn't disclose your gender status unless you really had to. Number one, it's really not much of anyone's business. What you have between your legs is your concern. Um, Same thing with sexuality. Who you sleep with is really no one else's business. It's your business. And places like businesses or workplace, things along that line, really are not the place to have to disclose that kind of information to, unless it's something like your job or I guess credit cards. Even I even didn't disclose them to my credit card companies. I just closed out accounts and reopened them under my other name once it was changed. Um, I think you'll find what I found is you'll face a lot less problems when you don't give out too much information. It's one thing to be open with your friends or your family or your community. I really wouldn't suggest putting all of your personal information on blast, because you never know who the person on the other end of that counter is. Let's say you have a card at Kroger's and you want to change your name, so you bring your name change order to the grocery store at Kroger's. You never know what the person's mentality on the other side of the counter is. They could be super great and super sweet and be like, "Oh, I have no problem changing your name. Have a great day, sir." Or they could be like a freaking psycho. And a lot of times with those cards, you have your address linked to them: address, phone number, your shopping habits. When I changed my cell phone number, the lady that had my number before me was some lady that lived in like Virginia part time, and I was getting a buttload of calls from Kroger grocery store, which they don't have down here in Florida, but they have up north, about like the Spaghetti-O hotline, which is random, but it was because she had used her Kroger shopper card to purchase groceries, and I guess they keep a little record of what you buy. So if there's a situation like a recall, in this instance it was a recall on Spaghetti-Os, they went through everyone who had used their card to buy Spaghetti-Os or a Chef Boyardee product, and then called you. So they have your address and phone number and that kind of stuff. You really never know who you're dealing with. You don't ever want to assume that everyone's going to be okay. That's one thing to be gay or lesbian. It's another thing to be bisexual, gay, lesbian, whatever. But as soon as you start talking about changing genders, being transgender, androgynous, gender fluid, gender queer, gender variant, any of those not normal gay or lesbian or bisexual terms, you're going to have problems. There's going to be an opportunity for violence, for retaliation, things along that line. So I really would not suggest putting your information, meaning your transition, on blast, because you never know who that other person is. You never know if that person on the other end of the Kroger's counter is really, like I said, some kind of a murderer, freak, stalker, psycho that's gonna like be like, "Oh yeah, that's no problem, I'll change it," and then you hear about all the time, especially if you watch like court TV and that kind of stuff, people that believe they were sent on a mission from God to kill someone, or they just don't. Look at Matthew Shepard. He was just a regular gay guy, and it was two straight people that knew he was gay that felt like they were entitled to end it, and they did. So you never really want to get involved in that kind of a situation. So now that I've rambled on for 7.5 minutes about shoppers cards, my definitive answer would be no. You do not have to bring that information in. I would not suggest it. I would much rather you just get a new shopper's card under your other name, even if it's like a chain grocery store like a CVS or Kroger. Go to another store in your area and sign up for a different card if you don't want to go to the same one where you signed up with originally. I really wouldn't risk it. Like I said, because you never know who the person on the other end of the counter is. Um, you don't want any problems. I'd rather you be safe and be alive and not have the threat or the possibility of violence, retaliation, or ignorance, just so you can save $3 on a package of hot dogs next week because of the sale. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. So, Gavin, my love, I hope that answered your question. Um, there's another question that's really awesome by Lee Cole, which I'm going to have to do some research on, so don't think that I forgot about you. He wants to discuss non-medical ways to transition, which is actually something that I've been really trying to look into a lot. It's been really hectic lately with working 2 jobs. I work on the weekends too, and during the week, and the whole move. And I know once I get moved in and situated, get my wife done, which is in 3 weeks, 3 weeks from tomorrow, I'll be able to really dig deeper into that, and I'll definitely make a video on non-medical ways to transition. I would much rather have guys transitioning naturally if they can't start T yet. So going through herbal supplements, rather than obtaining testosterone illegally and using it illegally or without having doctors. I already made a video on the dangers of testosterone. So I'm definitely completely 100% for natural transitioning if it's possible. I know it is. I know people that have transitioned naturally. So I'm going to do homework on my end and try to get a condensed YouTube video, enough of it, about natural transitioning. So that'll be coming up. But if you guys have any other questions that you want me to answer, any other just random miscellaneous, it doesn't have to be about transition. It could be about whatever. I'm pretty much an open book with everything except belly button down surgeries. That is my only private message topic, I guess. The only thing I don't answer on video is what I have or have not had done what I do or do not have, or things along those lines. Um, but anything else, I'll be more than happy to answer in a video. If you guys have any of those other questions that I don't answer in videos, if you guys really need to know, shoot me an email or whatever. But so pretty much I'm an open book with just about anything else. So hit me up with some comments on Fluids Wall. We're also going to be I'm going to make another video soon, probably tomorrow, later, I don't know, whatever, about next giveaways coming up. So keep your eyeballs open for that one. I just poked my eye. That was horrible. Keep your eyeballs open for that one, and we'll get some video stuff about giveaways. We're going to be giving away FTM products as well as Fluid branded things, like my coasters that I use for my house, Fluid International coasters. I know you are so jealous right now. But we're going to be giving away stuff like that with our logo on it, from anything from coasters to coffee mugs to t-shirts for your dog. So we'll go through all that. So suggest Fluid to your friends, family, allies, whoever you think would want to be a part of something that's going to be hopefully pretty awesome. I wish you all are well. Namaste.